नमस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरुर्पदं मन्त्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा। ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। We are discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, and we have just started since 2 days. And yesterday we were discussing about the difference between Karma Yoga and Sannyasa Yoga. Sannyasa Yoga. Karma Yoga is performing all kinds of actions, whereas Sannyasa Yoga is the path of renunciation, giving up everything, renouncing everything. So yesterday we saw the difference is outward only. One who doesn't perform any actions and makes it modified into inaction, his renunciation of action is not considered to be renunciation, because one who has all the sweets around him and yet he doesn't eat, then only we can say he has controlled his tongue. He has renounced the sweet. Who has not seen what is sweet and he says, I have renounced it, it is somewhat correct, not 100%. Correct, of course, because he has neither seen it nor have enjoyed it. So the grapes are soury, leave it and go. In this way, that renunciation is not real renunciation. It is called, they are called pseudo-renunciates. So this we have seen yesterday. Again, for recap, do thou, O Arjuna, know yoga to be that which they call renunciation, yoga and renunciation both are same, one and the same. And that yoga also, yoga is nothing but skill of action. So action you cannot give up. To practice yoga, you are bound to practice actions with no attachment, no ego. That is the skill, and then you are practicing yoga. And that yoga is nothing but sannyas. Every step you have to, every moment while practicing, you have to give up something and accept something. In that way, the whole Vedas say, give and take, give and take, give and take. And Gurudev used to say in beautiful example, this mind works as a shunting engine in the railway junctions. There will be some extra engines in the junction of railway. What does it do? The engine detaches some baggage from some train and attaches it into the other train. This is its work. So in this way one should practice attach and detach. Detach from the worldly sense objects and attach it to the absolute truth, which is beyond senses. So this is how we have to practice yoga. The yoga of detachment and renunciation only through actions. No other go is there. There is no other go.
Pigeonhole concept will bata
Pardon?
Pigeonhole concept.
Pigeon?
Pigeonhole concept.
Pigeonhole?
Shivanand Swami like pigeonhole.
Yeah, pigeonhole, that is different. So in this way we saw, no one verily becomes a yogi who has not renounced thoughts. Nahi asanastya sankalpo yogi bhavati kaschana. Nobody has ever become a yogi without renouncing the thoughts. That means mind. That means the same yoga says, Pratipaksha Bhavana, the opposite thoughts you have to accept to give up the unwanted worldly thoughts. That is, according to Gurudev Sivananda, detaching and attaching. Intellect equipped with discriminative power acts as that shunting engine. It detaches some thoughts of worldly affairs of the mind and it attaches same thoughts to the divine of the same mind. So in this way, sankalpa is the working of the imagining faculty of the mind that makes plans for the future and guesses the results of plans to form so that it will be performed. No one can become a karma yogi who plans and schemes for and expects fruits for his actions. He will not be considered as a karma yogi. No devotee of action, who has not renounced the thoughts of the fruits of his actions, can become a yogi of steady mind. Steady mind is meditation. Slowly we are directed towards meditation. How? Karma yoga, Raja yoga, Jnana yoga, and renunciation yoga of renunciation, they together direct our inner personality towards meditation. Lord Krishna eulogizes karma yoga here because it is the means for an external aid. It is Bahiranga sadhana, the outer helping hands, karma yoga, and inward is Dhyana yoga. It leads to the yoga of meditation in the course of time in order to encourage the practice of karma yoga. It is stated here that karma yoga is sannyasa, only to encourage karma yoga. If somebody says this is that which you don't accept, then naturally you will go to analyze how he has said like this. Lord Krishna says, karma yoga is called sannyasa. Hare? And that is what our Gurudev also said. Sannyasis are advised to serve, love, give, purify. In the ashram, all the sadhaks had to serve for the sake of ashram, for your own sadhana. You have to serve, you have to give some time to do some selfless seva, and it should be done in a group-wise form. It was being practiced in the ashram, and they will cooperate each other, and they will have mutual understanding and love and everything. That's how you are meeting your ashramites. In this way, serve, love, give, all these are practiced in Shivananda ashram at the time of Gurudev. It was a must. The moment anybody comes to ashram, before asking all about him, he will be given some work. Okay, you start this work. When I came to ashram, Gurudev asked this much, Oji, what were you doing? I said, Swamiji, I was studying agriculture. Oh yes, what for you have done? You come here. I want to stay here, Swamiji. We want agriculturists. You have to do some culture here. Selfless karma culture, love culture. Agriculture, you have to agree to these cultures. And the moment Gurudev said so, the assistants took me and gave some work in the office, and that was packing section, packing the books, packing the free medicines and other things. From office it has to go to devotees free of cost, from Gurudev's side as a gift. I was practicing packing, how to pack. And I learned it from other Swamiji also. In this way, the moment you enter to ashram, you are given some selfless service and you are trained. So karma yoga is a must, and karma yoga is known as yoga of renunciation, and it leads to Dhyana yoga by the course of time, and it purifies the heart and mind, and then mind gets one-pointedness. Easily it is withdrawn from the outer world, and unless you practice some outer practices, withdrawal of mind and fixing it on some point that is inward. But karma yoga is outward. You have to do something without attachment, without ego, without selfishness, without expectation of its result. So all these are outer practice. So it is called Bahirang, external practice, Bahirang sadhana. And Antarang sadhana is whatever you deal with the mind, that is inward. In this way, Lord Krishna also supports the same thing. This is what is learned from Lord Krishna by Gurudev and practiced it and made others practice this. Then he says karma yoga should be practiced, and that's how we are discussing the yoga of meditation, and where from karma comes here and renunciation comes here. Out of subject, why should we discuss all this? No, it is not out of subject, it is within the subject. They are just the members of the same triangular cooperative society of the person. In order to purify the intellect, mind and everything inwardly, you have to do all these. They are not out of subject. Now, he proves it by giving some theories. How karma yoga helps you. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karanam uchyate yoga rudasya tasyeva samah karana uchyate. He says, for a sage who wishes to attend to yoga, yoga means here meditation, one-pointed mind. One who wishes to attend to yoga, action is said to be the means for the same. For a yoga of meditation, yogi of meditation, one who wants to practice meditation, he has to, this is the declaration of Lord Krishna, essence of all the scriptures. It is not only told by Lord Krishna, not supported by other scriptures. Everywhere it is said. So here we discuss the essence of all the scriptures. For a sage who wishes to attend to yoga, action is said to be the means. You cannot give up actions. For the same sage who has attained to yoga, wishes to attain yoga, and who has attained yoga, what is the difference between the two sentences? One who is in the path of yoga and he has to adopt karma yoga. And when he reaches the aim of yoga, that is also yoga. The aim was one-pointed mind. That is called the state of mind in the meditation. So, we are discussing the science of meditation. This is the yoga of meditation. For that, meditation is the end, the aim, and there are some methods to be adopted, to be practiced. That is called karma yoga. Karma yoga is a must, and that is what Lord Krishna emphasizes upon. For the same sage who has attained to yoga means who has been established in meditation. What is meditation? Samatvam yoga uchyate. The equilibrium state of the mind. That is only one-pointed mind. That is called meditation. So, inaction is said to be this mean. Inaction is the means for meditation. Here, indirectly, he emphasizes upon samatvam yoga uchyate. Unless you get balanced mind, you cannot meditate. And for that, the karma is a must. Inaction means where there is no action, that means it is only a state of balanced mind, equilibrium state. So, Lord explains it. For a man who cannot practice meditation for a long time and who is not able to keep his mind steady in meditation, action is a means to get himself enthroned in yoga. Action purifies his mind and makes the mind fit for the practice of steady meditation. Action leads to steady concentration and meditation. Here action is your self-effort, and that too detaching and attaching. All these are only action. You have to do something without expectation of the result of it. So, unless you do some actions, how can you practice this unattachment, selflessness? How can you? For the sage who is enthroned in yoga means established in yoga, sama or renunciation of actions is said to be the means. Sama means both way, the equilibrium, and here renunciation of all the actions. Then only that is called samatvam. The more perfectly he substance from actions, the more steady his mind is, and the more peaceful he is, the more easily and thoroughly does his mind get fixed in the self. For a Brahmana, the higher class person who performs only teaching, learning and doing yajna for himself and for others, and also taking alms and giving charity. So all these 6 types of actions are meant for a higher class of people of the society. They are called Brahmins. For a Brahmana, there is no wealth like unto the knowledge of oneness and homogeneity for the self in all beings, truthfulness, good character, steadiness, harmlessness, straightforwardness, and renunciation of all actions. It is from Mahabharata. It is stated by Yudhishthira and by Bhishma to Yudhishthira in Shanti Parv, in the end of Mahabharata, when Bhishma was waiting for a good time to depart from the body. Yudhishthira and all others, they used to go there to look after him and also to get something from him, because he was the storehouse of all the knowledge. So when Yudhishthira went on asking him questions, why? Because Yudhishthira was not peaceful in mind after this great battle, because he had to lost everything. All his friends, kith and skins, their relatives, everybody is dead in the battle. Only few persons countable in a fingertip. Few persons were left in both the sides. That's how he was much worried. I am the cause for all this destruction. I would have stopped it. Of course, he tried his level best to stop it. Lord Krishna also tried outwardly. Inwardly, Lord says, I am the eternal, all-consuming time. I have incarnated here only to bring a balance, harmony in the society. Because so many imbalanced state is seen in the society because of power. Some are so powerful and others are not. So this imbalanced state is going on in the society. I have come out here to dharma sanstapana. Dharma means harmony. I have to bring up harmony in the society. And that is going to happen one day or other by the nature in the present world. Because everybody is proud of his power. He says, I am big. He says, I am bigger than you. I am more powerful than you. And how long it will go? Nature has to bring it to balance. One day or other, the day is not far. nature has acted in this way. If we see the history of the earth, always it has happened. So here Lord Krishna says, of course, this verse he has taken as example from Shanti Parva, the last portion of Mahabharata battle. And Bhishma Pitama, the oldest person who had all the experience of his whole life, he preaches dharma and how to get peace of mind to Yudhishthira, because his mind was always full of simply sorrows. Because of him only everything has happened. He thought he is the cause for the battle, and that is to be removed by Bhishma Pitama, by Krishna, by others, by Vyasadeva. Sometimes Vyasadeva used to come and console Yudhishthira. My dear, don't be so sad. You are not the cause. It is the eternal time. You are just an instrument in his hand. So this is how Lord Krishna says. The Brahmins should have all these qualities, divine qualities, and they practice renunciation of action in these 6 kinds of performances. Brahman's life is meant for this, and Brahmin who practices all these 6 types of actions selflessly and sincerely, honestly, he is bound to have a pure, steady mind in the end of his life, and that's how he will be able to know the absolute. Many such instances we have seen in history. I have seen a person here itself. Why to go to history? Some few kilometers from here, a great Karmakandi. He used to be invited by people, villagers, wherever they conduct some sacrifices periodically in different villages. They used to invite him only because he was very famous. He was very, very strict Karmakandi. Since morning he will not eat till the Purnahoti, the whole sacrifice is not over. Sometimes he doesn't take water also. Whereas other Brahmins, they start eating falahar or the milk or some fruits or something. But he never did it. Many times I also invited here for a pratishtha, pran pratishtha of this temple, and I have seen him in our village, and what strict rules he used to follow. And as a result, and always he is satisfied with the dakshina he gets. He never complained, it is less or it is more. He never demanded anything from the devotees. Never, ever satisfied. Performed sacrifices for him and for others without any expectation. And the result was, he had only one son, no other children, and the son was he was quite educated and he had a job and he got married also, and the wife of the son was pregnant, and at that time only one son met an accident and he died. And this father had to do all the rituals for the only son. Not a drop of tear anybody could see in his eyes. Neither he was happy, he cannot be happy, no father can be happy, but he was never seen to be sad. Many people asked, Panditji, how cruel you are, how hard-hearted you are. You don't like to weep for your son? He used to say, if I start weeping, will he come back to life? This much was his answer always. Why to weep? Everybody has to go who has come here. My weeping will do nothing. It is no way helpful for me nor for him. Why should I weep? Such a person I have never seen in my life. Will he not called a man of equal mind, samattam? Neither happiness nor unhappiness, neither worries nor anxieties, nor expectations, nor renunciation, rejection, nothing. We need not search Jivan Mukta in sannyasis or some Mahatmas. They can be seen anywhere and everywhere. And what to speak of him? Why not our bright example here in the ashram? Bipin. I salute him, I touch his feet heartily within my heart. He is my idealism. He is a piece of heart, my heart. His father, he went to serve his mother. Mother is serious in the hospital. And the moment he reaches there, he got the news, father is expired by attack of a bear. And the fellow came back from Dehradun from hospital leaving mother, and he did all the needful for his father. Not a drop of tear anybody could see in his eyes. Which sannyasi can be like him? So this is called the state of mind which is established in equilibrium. Such person need not do any practice any meditation. Their life is meditation. Their actions are inactions only. Bipin works here. Never he asked for any money, for any expenses. Let him be in extreme need of money. He will not ask. I have to keep spy on him. What does he need? And voluntarily I have to give him money, then only he takes, or else not. And day and night, forgetting the food. Who can serve like that? So this is the mind of such persons. We can take, for example, have attained the state of equilibrium. No expectation, no rejection of anything. Whatever you give, he never said no. And you know, many times I have seen Bipin, at midnight he will sit and meditate. Hey Bhagavad! Many times when I go silently to see and to call Bipin, I am in need of a Bipin. From window I see he will be sitting. So this is not rare in this world. We need not go to history to see any person. Always such people are available in the society. Of course, we give always the example of Janak, Videha. So, it is said, Brahmana, there is no wealth like unto the knowledge of oneness and homogeneity of the self in all beings, truthfulness, good character, steadiness, harmlessness, straightforwardness, and renunciation of all actions. This is the quality of a Brahman, and Brahman is ought to know the Brahma. Brahmam janati iti Brahmana. One who knows the truth, he is literally called Brahmin. Now, Lord Krishna gives the indications or symptoms, outward symptoms of such a person from his behavior, from his actions, and from his body language. We can guess such people. And of course we have seen it in second chapter to the answer of Arjuna. Lord Krishna explained how such a person behaves. Jada hi nendyartheshu na karma svanusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudhas tadochyate. In the last sloka, Lord Krishna explained yogarudhasya tasyeva samaha karanam uchyate. For a yogi who is established in yoga means meditation, who has got a steady mind, the balancedness is the means for meditation now. Whereas In the beginning, for a practitioner of yoga, karmam karanam uchyate. The action is the means to attain that state of meditation. Now he emphasizes upon that particular steadiness of mind and how it is attained from different angle of vision. Yada hinendriyartheshu na karma svanusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudhastadochyate. He has already told us before, without renouncing the thoughts, sankalpas, nobody can be said to be a sannyasi renunciate. Now he is emphasizing upon the same point. Then only you are considered to be established in meditative state. When a man is not attached to the sense objects or to actions, having renounced all thoughts, when there is no thought at all, then how can you have contact with the outer sense objects? The senses are now helpless and motionless, and they are incapable because of your strong control, withdrawal of mind, and practice of all these prior steps of yoga. So, the senses are now stable. They don't work at all. Then how can the thoughts go out through these senses to have contact with the sense objects? Matra sparsa is impossible for such a person who has controlled the senses. And that we have seen in the first steps of yoga, yama and niyama. That's why it is given to purify your mind and to have a regulated and well furnished mind, so that any moment you can control the senses. When a man is not attached to the sense objects or to actions, having renounced all thoughts, then he is said to have attained to yoga. Then only when the senses are stable, not moving at all, then mind cannot act. If the instrument is not there in your hands, how can you fight? If the sword is not found in the क्या कहते हैं म्यान को क्या कहें shield, how can you fight? It has become jam. You are trying to drag it, but nothing happens. So how can you protect yourself from the enemies? This is how the senses, when get stability, the mind automatically has to become stable, because it will not have contact with the outer objects. The instruments are now of no use. Yoga Rudha means established in the yoga. He who is enthroned or established in yoga, When a yogi, by keeping the mind quiet, steady, by withdrawing it from the objects of the senses, has attachment neither for sensual objects such as sound, nor for the actions, karmas, knowing that they are of no use. When he has renounced all thoughts which generate various sorts of desires for the objects of this world and of the next world also, I will go to the heaven and I have to get the Parijat Pushpa from Nandanvan of Lord Indra. I will enjoy it. The angels will come and dance before me. All these are only plans, projects of the future. Then he is said to have become a yoga rudha, one who doesn't want all these, never plans for all these. He is called yoga rudha, means he has been established in yoga. Do not think of sense objects. The desires will die by themselves. How can you face yourself from thinking of the objects when the mind is not working? Think of God or the self, then you can avoid thinking of the objects, pratipaksha bhavana, replacement of good thoughts. Then you can free yourself from thinking of the objects of the senses. Renunciation of thoughts implies that all desires and all actions should be renounced, because all desires are born of thoughts. You think first and then act, strive afterwards to possess the objects of your desire for enjoyment. Whatever a man desires, that he wills, and whatever he wills, that he does. This is Brihadaranya Upanishad. The method, it is stated in Brihadaranya Upanishad. How one gets the objects. First of all, he has to, whatever a man desires, that he wills. I want this, demand, will. And whatever he wills, that he does. So he comes to the action. That's how the actions are directed by the willpower and desires. Renunciation of all actions necessarily follows from the renunciation of all desires. When you renounce the desires, naturally the actions will be renounced. This has inner connectivity. Actions are directed or prompted or forced by the desires. Without desires, nobody goes to act. Oh desire, oh desire, I know where thy root lies. I know your root, though it is hidden, I know. Oh desire, I know where thy root lies. Thou art born of sankalpa. I will not think of thee, and thou shalt ceased to exist along with the root Mahabharata Shanti Parva. He addresses the desires. Oh desires, I know you perfectly, your identity. I recognize you. What are you? Where are you? How are you? Where is your source and your root? So, thoughts are your root. I will stop it. Let me see how can you play havoc. Indeed, desire is born of thought, sankalpa, and of thought, yajnas are born. Yajnas are born. Manusmriti. Indeed, desire is born of thought, sankalpa, and of thought, yajna are born, sacrifice. Without thinking, we cannot do any sacrifice. And your actions are born of thoughts only. So in this way, they are interconnected. We shall see it little more tomorrow, how our thought process and process of action and desires and the getting results, how it happens in sequence, how one is linked with the other and what is the process. Tomorrow we shall see. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasesate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Mata ki jai.